the land of handmade pasta, exaggerated hand gestures, and sodomy? Yep, I said what I said. In the 15th and 16th centuries, the men of Florence, Italy, were less interested in buns in the oven and more interested in man buns, hun. These guys were uncut and unleashed, rolling in the hay and crossing swords.
Hunga!
And some of these dudes weren't just any old queers. They were some of the greatest queers the world has ever known. Like Leonardo Da Vinci, painter of the world's most celebrated masterpiece, the Mona Lisa. Or Michelangelo,
This is gonna be some of my best work.
painter of the Sistine Chapel and sculptor of the David. Yeah, that's right, sodomites. And these Renaqueers lived and loved in the city center of all sodomies, Florence, Italy.
Sodomy was particularly common in Florence.
Yes.
In German, Florenza is the name for a sodomite. My name is Gary Ferguson. I'm the Douglas Huntley Gordon Professor at the University of Virginia. My area of expertise is the European Renaissance, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Why was Florence such a hotbed of hot male lovers? After half the population died from the Great Plague, Italy decided to focus on herself, spending her time and money on all things art and culture. And she was horny as hell. Hashtag eat gay love. So, how do you cook up a renaissance? Well, first you take an improved standard of living, mixed with a culture of art and exploration, sprinkled with some emphasis on individual thought and expression, and you've whipped up an environment that empowered a lot of men to be like,
YOLO.
and do whatever the hell they wanted. And what they wanted was to hook up with other men. The government wanted to keep control while profiting from all that new money. So the OGs of Florence came down hard with fines and punishments for man-on-man action. Sodomy was about to get expensive.
We'll form a commission to keep the gay at bay. Keep the gay at bay!
In 1432, the government created the Office of the Night, a special commission tasked with finding and punishing men who had sex with men. It was like a supergroup of elite Florentines, and this geriatric boy band took their job very seriously.
The Office of the Night was set up by the city government of Florence, and they were a group of citizens who were charged with investigating, prosecuting, and punishing people who were found guilty of sodomy. There were 6 citizens elected annually. You had to be at least age 45. You had to be a member of a guild, which meant that they were merchants, bankers, and other professional people. You also had to be married.
Sorry, girls. Taken.
I'm actually taken too. I have a girlfriend. Her name's Paulina or something. She's in another castle, so you guys don't know her, okay? We have sex.
Now, all you had to do was submit an anonymous tip, and the night officers would investigate. And probably because you didn't need proof to accuse someone of sodomy,
Ew. Ooh, yuck. Damp.
there were a lot of accusations.
Ernesto was wearing an ascot at market.
Henry the baker winked at me walking through the kingdom.
Okay, this one just says, call me by your name.
Okay, looks like a certain member of the Office of the Night, hey, was seen singing show tunes in the shower.
That's a hot tip.
For 70 years, the ministry enforced anti-sodomy laws. And getting caught by the Office of the Night sucked. It could cost your life savings. Imagine telling your family you lost a year's wages because you got caught giving the gardener a handy. The fines increased after each offense, and after your 5th indiscretion, it was the death penalty! Like, damn! Over the top much?
Howdy, I'm Eric Cervini, the Book of Queer's resident homo historian. Welcome to the Footnotes.
In the 12th century, the Pope created the Inquisition, hoping to root out opposition or heresy and increase the power of the church. And one way to increase your power is to create an enemy. So the church created new enemies: Jews, Muslims, and heretics, anyone who disagreed with the teachings of the church. Along with these groups, the church included sodomites. In the course of only 50 years, sodomy went from being completely legal to triggering the death penalty almost everywhere. In other words, all-powerful rulers identified a group that was different from the majority, lied about them, and began persecuting and killing them. Sound familiar? Anyways, back to our sodomy headquarters.
What if it's just a finger in the...
Sodomy was an umbrella term for any sex act that didn't serve procreation.
What about if your butt's accidentally touched at the baths?
What if you pronounce theater?
What if you can tell the difference between ivory white and eggshell white?
Well, I'm wearing eggshell.
What about a bunch of geriatric men discussing sexual encounters between other men?
Yup, a lot of things were considered sodomy.
No.
Historian Michael Roque estimates that over 15,000 people were incriminated at least once for sodomy. And you likely know at least one sodomite from Florence because of their incredible contributions to art and literature.
Leonardo Da Vinci is one of the most famous artists of all time.
Oh, you just caught me fooling around doodling.
He painted the Mona Lisa, but he was also a scientist and an engineer.
I hate it.
He made sketches of ideas like flying machines, an armored sort of prototype of a tank, and many others.
I love to multitask.
Many people don't know that Da Vinci seems to have been attracted more or less exclusively to young men. In modern terms, he's probably what we would call gay or homosexual. Leonardo had many young men living with him at different times in his life. Salai was his most famous model. Some scholars believe that Salai was the model for Leonardo's portrait of John the Baptist. He does a drawing of Salai, which is called the Angel Incarnate, and he's showing a big erect penis.
So next time you see a Renaissance angel, just remember, that's actually the artist's boy toy.